Hey gang, I'm going to stick with this personal defense series of mine, even though I'm only getting like 110 or 120 views. But in for a penny, in for a pound. So I'm going to go ahead and try to finish this up in 2 more episodes. And this is next to the last. I do have some great stuff coming up. I think, a video that I took when I was in Vegas. I had a lot of fun out in Vegas. And it's kind of like an infomercial for how much fun Vegas can be for trans girls. So, personal defense. Now, we talked about the OODA loop. You know, observe, orient, decide, and act. And then we talked about levels of force that you could possibly use, up to, but not including lethal force, to defend yourself. I want to digress a little bit because I don't want to jump right into like guns and all that stuff, especially today after what's happened in Florida. I don't even want to really think about guns. What I do want to talk about is how you can keep yourself safe when you're unarmed and you're in a crowd or you're among people, strangers. We all instinctively have a little space that we like to keep around ourselves that doesn't include anyone else. Now, for some people it might be 3 feet away. Some people it might be arm's length. Some people it might be 6 or 10 feet away. We all know someone that doesn't like us to get too close. I got all these lights behind me that are upstaging me here. The bottom line is you have your comfort zone, but human beings have a zone that they can hurt you if they get within. And that might be in your comfort zone. You might love to touch people, a touchy-feely person, like to put your hand on their shoulders, like to shake their hand, like to hug them, things like that. Well, hopefully you're not doing that with strangers. But if someone gets within 20 feet of you and decides that they want to charge you, they're going to get you. They're going to lay hands on you if you're not paying attention to what's going on. Now, it's pretty hard in society out in the city or, you know, like walking around in Vegas to keep people more than 20 feet away. But you do have to maintain a certain level of awareness, keep your eyes open, and, you know, especially when you're alone, when it's dark, and you see another person coming along and there's just you and that other person, really got to pay attention. Now, key things to think about are, can you control your position wherever it may be, on the sidewalk, in your car, you know, in the mall? Can you control, do you have the ability to change your position and put your body wherever you want it to be so nothing is blocking you from that? Okay, that's one thing that you really want to have. Okay, it's not always possible. So when it's not possible, you have to pay attention to other things. Like, why isn't it possible? Is it not possible because another human being or several other human beings have blocked you, or are, you know, nonchalantly not really paying any attention to you, but preventing you from being able to change your position? This should get you more aware. I'm not saying that you're going to be attacked necessarily, but you need to be more aware. And you need to try to get yourself back into that position that you can control. Now, distance. Can you keep anyone else at a distance from you that you're comfortable with? If someone gets so close to you that you don't feel appropriate, or you don't feel comfortable, then one of 2 things are happening, okay? This person has been forced to be too close to you by the proximity of others, or you're in a big crowd, it's real crowded, you're all packed in, or something inappropriate is about to happen. Now, either the inappropriate thing is this person's going to try to touch you when you don't want to be touched, or this person's going to make a pass at you, or this person's going to threaten you. So you need to be aware that when someone is getting too close to you and you cannot control your position and you cannot create the distance that you feel comfortable with, that something is about to happen. And maybe just the two of you are going to get pressed tightly together in a crowd. I was in an elevator, for instance, I was in an elevator in Vegas, and as it went down, it stopped at every floor, and I was on the 50th floor. And pretty soon there were so many people in there that I was wedged back against the corner, which is a good place for me to be because I don't really want to have to worry about anybody behind me. But there was this a petite little lady in front of me, and there was a tall gentleman in front of her, and she was wedged in pretty tight. And at some point I looked down and asked her if she could breathe okay down there, and that got a laugh out of everybody. But everyone was uncomfortable. It was very quiet in that elevator because we were all forced to stand like sardines. And I could feel it, everybody else could feel it. Nothing happened, okay? We were jammed in an elevator. You know, nobody was in there to hurt anybody. Another time at a bar, while I was sitting at a bar, a guy tried to put his hands on me because he thought that that's what I wanted, or at least that's what he wanted. Now I let him get too close. He was asking me intelligent questions about trans people, and I thought he just wanted to get educated. And I knew he was a little interested, and he was flirting a little bit. But after I, kind of set him straight and told him I wasn't interested, then he tried to put his hands on me, and things got ugly. But that was my mistake, but I really didn't feel too threatened. I didn't really think he was going to try to kill me at a bar and with all kinds of witnesses around. So I let him get close, a little too close, and then an inappropriate thing happened. That's my point. It also happened to my girlfriend, my trans girlfriend. Same thing, where the guy actually put hands on her. If you got to be able to control your space. Okay, now we're going to get into reasonable fear. Now, if someone is too close to you, okay, it's not right in the eyes of the law for you to just suddenly panic and thrash out and try to defend yourself because you may not be in any harm. That's blind, unreasoning panic. If you're on the street and someone is getting too close to you and you don't like what you see, then you need to be vociferous and you need to be vocal and you need to tell that person that they're too close and they need to get away, or they're making you feel uncomfortable. Now, bad guys don't often talk and they don't tell us what they want to do to us. They just try to get close enough to do it. Okay, but how you can keep this person at a distance and possibly get your pepper spray out or whatnot to defend yourself, is because you are being vocal and you are saying, hey, you're too close. You're scaring me. I don't like that your hands are in your pockets. Get your hands out of your pockets where I can see them. Because that's the only thing they can kill you with. It's good if you can see their hands and that there's nothing in them. Anyway, by you being vocal and controlling the situation, if this person doesn't act reasonably and he doesn't acquiesce to your requests and he doesn't show you his hands or he doesn't step back, you may reasonably begin to fear. And if you articulate this after the fact to the police, it will make sense to them and it will sound reasonable. Okay, so for trans girls who are afraid of haters or hate groups or somebody like that, they may be real vocal from a distance and come in and say, you people don't deserve to be here, or you people don't deserve to live, or you're freaks, or I've heard it all. They're going to be vocal from a distance, so you're going to see them coming, and you're going to have time to get out of the way. If they want to get real sneaky, then you have to pay attention. Oftentimes, you can tell someone's up to no good by where they're looking. Now, they may not even be looking at you. Where they may be looking is for witnesses. So they may be approaching you, but not looking at you, but looking all around behind them, like this. Looking to see if anybody's going to see them hurt you. Okay, this should be a red flag for you. more than one person. You know, if 3 or 4 people are coming towards you and none of them are talking to each other, they're not laughing and joking. Okay, this should be, you know, something that you should be concerned about. And it doesn't matter if you're a trans girl or if you're a regular girl or if you're a regular guy. It doesn't matter. Okay, when you see something like this going on, this is a cause for you to become more aware, pay attention to what they got in their hands, okay, and try to step offline. And by stepping offline, I'm on this sidewalk now. If I'm walking down the middle of the sidewalk and somebody's coming at me and I don't like what I see, I'm not going to go backwards or forwards. I'm going to step sideways and get off to the side of the sidewalk, okay? Then, if that person has to change direction in order to intercept me, so he's coming straight at me, but when I move sideways, he moves sideways as well to intercept me, I can begin to reasonably fear that we're going to have a confrontation of some kind. It may just be that he wants to talk to me. You know, maybe he wants to fix, maybe he wants to fix my hair for me, okay? But it could also mean that he wants to put hands on me. So I have to be aware of that. And you don't just like walk straight backwards like I'm doing right now. You move sideways, and then that will tell you if they move sideways to intercept you, okay, that you may have to get ready for some sort of confrontation. So these are things that we can practice and we can think about in order to be reasonable in our fear and not unreasoning or panic-stricken, okay? We can control the situation better if we're aware and if we maintain our ability to control our position. Okay, and this is all great stuff for staying safe and not having to pull out a gun or pepper spray someone, you know, who may or may not be a threat. You have to look at what they're doing and you have to work your OODA loop, okay? Observe them and orient yourself to them, and oftentimes that means controlling your position, okay? Then decide what you want to do and then act upon it. And we'll talk about acting upon it in the next video. And I hope someday this video series is going to be like, oh, what was that? There was a cult movie that it's going to be like Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah, nobody watched it when it first came out. Now everybody in the world has seen it at least once, maybe 20 times. Okay. And that's what this personal defense series is going to be. Hey, love and peace to all, and let's just try to accept one another for who we are.